Our reporters had to move, so they're going to be back on with us in about 5 minutes. We're going to get Jakari Jackson's take on what he's seen unfolding in Baltimore, Maryland. I don't just want to talk about this subject this hour. I want to get into a host of issues like this one. This is such a big deal. U.S. economic growth slows to 0.2%. Let's get something straight. I'm not a prophet of doom. I'm someone who understands that facing trends, facing problems, debating them is what saves civilizations. When civilizations start living in denial, to use the allegory of Superman, nobody gets off the planet when it blows up. Well, we don't have the ability to get off this planet right now. As Stephen Hawking just said, we're not going to make it if we don't. So we need to not have World War III, not release bioweapons, not create nanotech that kills everybody, not do experiments that they admit could cause a chain reaction, a strangelet, or a black hole, or a singularity event, a quantum event that could damage or destroy the planet. Some estimates are if a black hole gets purchased and is able to actually gain mass, it would not just destroy the Earth with what they're doing in Hadron, but would probably suck in the sun and the entire solar system. Off of that mass, it would then begin to travel around the galaxy having snacks. That's not science fiction. Max Planck, the German physicist in 1900, developed the quantum mechanics equations that were later turned into atomic bombs. The atomic bomb is 115 years old. What do you think they have now? NASA believes they've developed a warp drive. Why do you think all these things that you continue to see in the news were in Star Trek 40 years ago, 50 years ago? Because Jack Parsons, who headed up the Space Propulsion Laboratory, was an admitted Satanist. This was even on HBO a few weeks ago in a documentary. I couldn't believe they admitted it. And he hung out with the author of Star Trek. You just can't make this stuff up. And that's why you see Star Trek, it's the UN symbol and everything. I mean, it's all predictive programming. So these are the real issues that affect our species, and we need to have a debate about this. In fact, I was going to wait till the bottom of the hour. I'm going to start doing more uplifting, positive pieces. We already do this, but I want to make a focus on self-help, a focus on empowering the human spirit, a focus on believing in humanity. Do we have that video ready? I don't even know what to call this clip. I'd kind of come up with a headline earlier, but this is the secret to transcending the New World Order. It is the secret to humanity surviving. The simple ideas I lay out transcend the globalist paradigm. This is the secret. It really is to controlling your own destiny. Controlling your own destiny starts when you begin to realize you can begin in increments to change your destiny and the destiny of the world around you. I have changed the destiny of tens of millions of people. You have changed it by supporting me, by magnifying what we say and what we do and what we cover, and then adding intel. You have incredible power. Who knows who will cause the spark to move us either towards destruction or away from it? But it isn't about getting the credit for it. It's about seeing the world you've changed. I take incredible pleasure watching mainstream news or listening to mainstream talk radio and hearing them repeat exactly what I said 10 years ago, using terms I coined. I just revel in tuning into almost every major libertarian conservative show, even shows that attack me, and realizing that they have copied the cut of my jib. That is intense pleasure. Not in that it's empowering me and my ego, but that I really cheer on Team Humanity. I really want us to survive. I know the power of humanity, of humankind. And I want to bring that idea back. That's always been the idea of any civilization that rises, is beauty and honor and diligence and creativity. And there's always a struggle between destructiveness and wickedness and oppression and rape and rapine versus our greater angels. So if you want to change the world, look in the mirror, like V from Vendetta says. I know why you did it. You were scared. Who wouldn't be? ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Ebola, the flu, collapsing wages, open borders, race war. And in your fear, you turn to the central government who is directing the crises themselves to bring you order. But in exchange for order, you were given tyranny and oppression and lack of freedom. And a media that seeks to topple common sense and attack the family and every form of individual freedom. Oh, there are those who are more responsible, and they will be held accountable. But in the end, you only need to look in the mirror. Let's go ahead and go to this piece, again put together by Josh Owen. Have you ever just paused for a moment, turned off the television, and put away People magazine to look around you and realize where we are on this beautiful planet, hurtling through space, orbiting the sun, out on the edge of a spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy? Because that simple thought, that simple moment of pulling back and getting outside the box, of coming out of the cave into the wider world, has helped me and many others realize how pathetic the global social engineers really are, who would attempt to shutter the psyches, the minds, the creativity of the people even more. I look at the messages put out by Hollywood and mainstream media about how ugly we are, about how dumb we are, about how bad we are, how we're a disease on the face of the world, and how we've got to be exterminated. That's a bunch of greedy, hateful control freaks who are envious of beautiful and smart people, who wish to set themselves up as gods in some type of high-tech nightmare world. I'm here as a 21st century Paul Revere telling you I believe in you. But beyond believing in you, at a cellular level, I know how powerful you are when you realize the true destiny of humanity. And when you understand that you are the heirs of all the humans that came before us that did incredible things to bring us to this point. They say necessity is the mother of invention. We have the necessity to defeat the New World Order, the globalists, the eugenicists, the social engineers that are waging war on our people worldwide. Whether you are old, young, and no matter what color your skin is, we are all brothers and sisters in this human quest going back tens of thousands of years. I don't want us to fail now because a small group of predators learned how we worked and then launched a war against their own species so they could greedily control the entire future destiny. I want the compendium, the great mass of humanity, with our ideas and with our competition and with our loves and passions to decide the future in an open, free society. Not one based on lies, not one based on fraud, but based on love of humanity and free will. You have the power. You are incredible creatures. You are the heirs of this amazing genetic treasure trove of struggle. Let's not just let humanity survive. Let's build on what we've already done and make our ancestors proud. Because they are watching today. They are inside of us. Every cell, every genetic memory. We are all those that came before us, and we will live forever through our progeny into the future. But make no mistake, there's an epic war, an incredible battle over the future of our species happening right now. You don't want to sit on the sidelines. You don't want to sit in the middle of the road. You want to choose sides wisely. And I have a quote by astronaut Edgar Mitchell from the moon commenting on his meditation from another heavenly body. You develop an instant global consciousness, a people orientation, an intense dissatisfaction with the state of the world, and a compulsion to do something about it. From out there on the moon, international politics looks so petty. You want to grab a politician by the scruff of the neck and drag him 250,000 miles out and say, look at that, you son of a bitch. Look at that. That's why I get so angry when I watch known social engineers who want race-based politics and racism posing as if they're the good guys, the judges, the arbitrators, our bosses, telling us we're racist if we use the word thug for looters, or telling us we're anti-government terrorist if we criticize Obamacare, and then to watch people rolling over in fear lest they be called a name. It's a badge of honor to be attacked by the Benedict Arnold media. It's a badge of honor to be under attack by these people. They took the easy way to prey on humanity, to cheat humanity, to keep humanity in the dark. They're the enemy of all that's good. They are vampires. They are predators, and they will destroy our future if they're not dealt with. We'll be back with our reporters, a ton of news, and more. You know, Willie Nelson's a listener and a friend, and a lot of other famous people are, but I tell you, Hank Williams Jr., I've been a fan of him since I was a little kid, is a listener. That's been confirmed for years, and I've talked to his son, Hank Williams III. Boy, he's a wild man. He's a listener, lives here in Austin. And we had him ready to come on the show a few years ago, but his advisor said, don't do that. Look at what happened when you talk bad about Obama. You lost your NFL job. And that's where the attempted media intimidation comes in. But that wall of intimidation won't go on forever, because you can't starve us out and you can't make us run, because these old boys were raised on shotguns. We say grace, we say amen, and if you ain't into that, we don't give a you-know-what. And I tell you, good old boys around this world come from every race, color, and creed. And it's people that won't be slaves. And we're looking for men and women who want to control their own destinies to realize there's a global corporate system that doesn't even want families. They want corporate biological units. They want you to be produced in a test tube, grown in an artificial womb, the product of dozens of different parents. That is the THX 1138, Brave New World, Bertrand Russell, Julian Huxley, UNESCO plan. Because you see, those books and films aren't being imitated by government. Those books and films are being written by the family members of the people who were in on the conspiracy. And again, that's not my opinion. I've read the writings of Bertrand Russell. I've read the writings of Julian Huxley, his brother Aldous Huxley. I've listened to their speeches. I've played them here. I've read their quotes. What you hear from me is not my opinion. Oh, everything's distorted through the glass darkly, the rose-colored darkly. And now over our eyes is being descended a digital scanner darkly that PKD saw 30 years ago. Oh, how the human mind can see the future. You be Blade Runner. He say you Blade Runner. Do you understand the world we're now entering? You're not cop, you're little people. All of it predictive programming. All of it preparation for the world the technocrats are building in their image. And their image is far darker and more twisted than any Geiger painting or sculpture that your darkest nightmares could conjure. I've seen over to the enemy's mind. I've looked through the eyes of the globalist. I wouldn't even call it astral projection. I'd call it political projection. I'd call it historical projection. I'd call it immersing myself in their writings, their literature, their culture so long that I now understand how they think, and it sends shudders. I just got chills from the tip of my toes right back through to my brainstem, with my soul just cringing when I dial into these guys and tears in my eyes. They enjoy dominating the innocent. They destroying everything good and true. For everything that is honorable, beautiful, strong, wholesome, creative, a blessing, hospitality, grace, steadfastness, God-fearing, noble, the enemy is a counterfeit. And you'd say, why would there be a counterfeit of good things that are mighty and great? Because the flip image of that is magnificent as well. It's those in the middle that are weak little Renfield golems. But when you turn towards the dark side and look at it in all of its majesty, John the Revelator on Patmos marveled at the beast. And anytime I force my intellect to focus on the full image of all these thousands of pieces and look at it, I'm staring directly in the eyes of Lucifer.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 188-253-3139.